Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hey, I just wanted to go over a thermostat I just set up on my egg incubator. First off, I just want to let you know that it failed. I'll be putting that in the title, but I believe I wired this in all correctly. And my, just, quick short thing. I'll go over all this in a second, but I believe the reason why this is not working is because when you wire these things in, these are for a 12-volt system. And then I did convert it to a 12-volt system by splicing it in and all that shit. But I don't think the heating element is made for a 12-volt system. This is a little warm, very, very barely. I'd almost get it confused with my hand being was warm. But right now it is on, as you can see, it is on. It's reading 16.4 degrees Celsius. That's another thing about this thing is I was hoping that this would switch between both. Sorry, I had to put the phone down for a second, talk to some people. Yeah, so where was I? The heating element. I think this heating element is for a normal 110 kind of volt thing. This is the original wire I pulled out of the sucker that got fed into this guy. And this is like the little twisty thermostat, you know. But I don't think this can run off of 12 volt heating. Right now I'm pulling out about 12.4 volts of power when I set up my voltometer. But yeah, let's give you a bigger picture. But yeah, here, I'll start just going through the numbers with you. Pretty much explain everything this is. Alright, so this little guy, this is a thermostat. Kind of just have him wired up in here. That's the little thermostat. You see him dangling right there. Alright, so that's what that wire is. Alright, let's just actually pull this wire out just so it's easier to see. Alright, so let's actually go to the diagram just to let you guys know. Alright, so the farthest right is the ground, then there's a positive, then there's another jump positive, and then there's another positive for when the temperature is set. So when it needs to heat up, it'll put a load on this wire. This is where I have my element, the heating wire, and then it continues to the negative terminal. So just have them side by side up here. That is what I have the farthest. Sorry, this little loopy guy. So this farthest guy right here. Let's get this focus. There we go. So farthest right here, this is ground. I have two ground wires hooked up to there, one from the power unit, the other from the return of the load. Here's my positive wire, and here's the bridge. You can see the little loop to bridge that. And then here's my one that goes to the heating element. The heating element then goes from here, this green one, and it loops around through the heating element and then goes back into the negative ground port right here. Just so you can see that a little bit easier. I know it's not too easy to see, but I'm pretty sure exactly how that goes. Like 99%, that's how I had that set up. And this, this is slowly heating up as the day gets warmer. It was just pretty rainy, but now it's starting to get a nice little sunny day. And I have my my max. We'll work through all that, but you can set all those different things up. But yeah, actually, just so you can see that I'm getting correct power to these things, I'm gonna turn. Okay, my voltometer is on, and we're just gonna walk through these things just to let you know. All right, so we put the ground down, and first off, I'm just gonna let you know. All right, ground and positive wire says 12.4 volts. Sorry, says 12.4 volts. Ground or bridge and ground. So that's the bridged one to the ground. That is reading 12.4 volts. And then ground to the other positive to the heating element, and that is 12.4 volts. I've never seen this thing switch off, but it's because it's never been to the full heatest or the full temperature. Haven't really even gotten that far. But just to let you know, let's switch this sucker up. Alright, so I did strip some of those wires just so we could see. This is an LED light. It's supposed to light up when it gets power. I disconnected it just because this thing was not lighting up even when I had it wired into here the correct way. I had the negative going to this negative and then the positive going to this positive. But even the LED wouldn't light up, which is strange. So I cut them off, and we're gonna join these two. I don't know how I can do it really with one hand. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna do that and hold the camera at the same time, but I did double check these. Maybe this will be on camera. And yes, 12.4 volts. I'm not sure if you saw that, but it did indeed. Actually, here, okay. Boom. Oh, fuck. Alright, see that? That's on there. 12.4 volts. Boom. I'm telling you. And this thing is not even fucking hot. It's fucking cold. So, this thing just does not produce enough heat for these Hovar, or whatever things, incubator things. They're just not strong enough to power and heat these things up. You would have to wire this onto another 12 volt heating source. I did not know that. That's why I'm assuming my problem is I did not have this thing wired to a 12 volt heating source. My heating source must be like 110 only or something like that, which is a bummer because I thought you could shortcut this shit. But guess not. Just letting you guys know that if you guys do end up doing this, you're gonna need another 110, or another 12 volt thing for heating. But anyways, yeah, hope this saves some of you guys some money. I'm probably just gonna keep this wired in for a digital thermostat, but not have it hooked up to the actual heating unit itself, and instead go back to the twisty thermostat for the heating of that. But yeah, let's see if we can just warm this thing up. I'm just gonna hold the thermostat. Yeah, look at that. That's because I'm holding the thermostat. So it's like it is working. You know. But just not to the thing I wanted. And these are all just different settings for how to set this thing up. This PO is pretty much if you want it to be hot or cold setting. Do you want it to heat up or you want it to cool down? The P1, what was that again? Oh, the difference. The setting stops. Okay, so this is like how accurate, like the point, 0.7, 0.5, like when you're setting it, like what do you want the difference to be? The P2, P3, the P2 is your maximum temperature, the P3 is your minimum temperature, and the P4 is just like if it's reading temperatures wrong, it could do calculations to like that to like mainly with like refrigerator units, but like to get your temperature more accurate. Number 5 is a delayed start off. This is 3 to 6 minutes. This is actually for the refrigerator thing. And it has a high temperature line where it literally just does blank lines. It doesn't do any sound, I don't think. But yeah, this is that, and that is that. But yeah, I pretty much just bought a pretty, I mean, it looks cool, a pretty cool looking little thermostat, but it's not one that will control my egg incubator and most likely not control yours, unless you get a different heating kind of element. Anyways, hope this is helpful. Oh, fuck. gotta turn this sucker off. Hope this is helpful. Hope this saves you guys some money or lets you buy the stuff that you need actually when you buy the rest of it. Alright, till next time.